Bill, another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
Boy, some breaking news here this morning as we get started. For me, had no idea. I'm a big buffet guy. If you haven't noticed, the front profile's all right, but when I turn to the side, that's when things go downhill pretty fast.
Yeah.
The front profile is good whenever you haven't had a haircut because you don't really see. The earphones cover up the sideburns that are just getting out of control, and the neckage. I call that the neckage. Bridget does not like the neckage. Have you ever had Kay shave your neck, Rick?
No.
If you haven't had a haircut in a while.
She's tried to shave it with an axe before.
No, okay.
I was going to say he'd probably be afraid with the razor would just kind of keep going.
Yeah, well, this family-friendly show. We're not going to talk about previous episode. No, I'm just kidding. But so that's the mindset this morning. Is sometimes that side profile is yikes. When I went to Fargo, they did a video, the very first video they ever did. And it was their videographer. We were outside. They had this kind of community-wide pep rally where they give away yard signs. It was actually pretty awesome. But the camera guy decided to go really low into the side. And so the very first shot of me on NDSU Athletics website was a belly that stuck out to about here because you don't see it from the front, but when you go to the side.
I've got one of those.
Yeah, but that's okay.
You can see it from the front.
Somebody one day, Rick said, they said, "Oh, you got a lot on your plate." I said, "Yeah, but God also blessed me with a huge appetite."
Yeah.
So there you go. Welcome in. Here we are, Rick and Kay Boning. Tomorrow's Promise, Montessori Schools. Ladies first, Rick.
Oh, I was going to shake her again.
Yeah. So good to see y'all this morning. Who is this? We had a guy in Georgetown named Harry Gold, and he had a department store. This was when local. Kind of like Lee Barron here in Huntsville, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have many of those anymore. It's usually corporate. Kohl's, and which they all have their place. Sam's awesome, by the way, at Lee Barron.
It really is.
But in Georgetown, it was Gold's department store. And you'd think, man, Gold, that's a big time deal. Well, it was just Harry Gold. It was one location is all. And it was pretty neat because he had a TV commercial on the local cable channel, and he always wore suits and a cowboy hat. And he'd give people, at Christmas, this time of the year, he'd just give people $100 bills out on the street. Here you go. God bless you. He was a great man. They have a statue of him at the courthouse, actually, there in Williamson County. But the commercial would come on, and a guy would turn around and go, "Who is that man?" And he goes, "I'm Harry Gold." So when you said, "Who is that?" When you said, "Who is that man?" I thought of Harry Gold this morning. Good morning, Mr. Gold. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good
I don't
to
have any $100 bills for you.
Oh man, that's why I was shaking your hand. So.
Monopoly money.
I don't have that either.
Yeah.
You gave that away.
There's more value in Monopoly money, I think, than our regular money these days. So,
Could be.
welcome in. Thanks for being a part of it here today, friends, as we get going on a Wednesday. It doesn't even seem like Wednesday yet, but
Oh, it does
is.
to me. I've been in class all week.
Did you make a trip to the store yesterday, Rick?
No, I'll probably go this evening.
Oh man, yeah. If it was in the day, I may hop on with you. I enjoyed it. I got to hang out with Rick a couple weeks ago. It was a great time,
I'll be gone next week too. So
It was almost too much though, Rick, because our jokes, like when you and I get together in that van and just start joking, it gets good. You know?
Fortunately, I wore my boots that day.
Yeah, so it's pretty thick. We're going to start recording those, and the Rick has also been inducted now as the fourth dumpling, by the way.
Yeah, I'm the scorched dumpling.
Yeah, the scorched one. Rick is now officially part of the dumpling club, which includes Garrick Long. And Garrick's only been here a few times, so we felt it appropriate that we needed to bring Rick into this circle. We talk a lot about circles on this show. Rick has now been brought into the pan that we put on the stove. He is now inside the cooking pan. He is one of the dumplings. We have 4
That
in there.
initiation is pretty warm.
It was pretty warm, and you got scorched.
Yeah.
So we're having a lot of fun, friends. Thanks for joining us here on a Wednesday. We hope you wake up inspired. We love being able to bring you this show every single weekday here from our studio downtown. Huge thank you to Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers and online at elliotsjewelers.com. Just got back from Antwerp a couple of weeks ago, and Elliot was on our show sharing the stories of the diamond hunting down in Belgium. And he's got a bunch of yellow diamonds that are back here in Huntsville now. So pretty cool stuff from Elliot. If you need all your jewelry needs, go by and see him. Also, big thanks to Paul Oley of the Gallery. With Thanksgiving here and Christmas right around the corner, friends, it's time for family photos, and our friend Paul Oley can take great care of you. Please go by and see him and let him know you heard about it here on the show. He's right next door to us here downtown on University at the Gallery. And, of course, on a Wednesday, wouldn't be able to be here without our great friends, Kay and Rick Boning of Tomorrow's Promise
I'd be
Montessori
Rick.
Schools. That's Rick, yeah.
Just so everybody knows.
Once in a while.
No, I'm Rick most of the time.
Well, that one time at that chamber, you were not.
Well,
What was it? I'm Rick James. Do you ever turn into Rick James?
we were there, and I meant to say I'm with Kay, and I said I'm Kay.
Oh, okay. So what happened? Did you get popped by Kay?
No? I don't remember what happened.
No popping.
Everybody laughed.
Yeah, because I left out the word with.
That's all right. So this is
She's a lot better looking than I am.
we're trying to think of. We have the hug of Huntsville, which is Kay.
Mm-hmm.
We have the handshake of Huntsville, which is now Marcus Gillespie. Found that out at Rotary. Shook my hand really mighty, and I was like, man, this guy needs to be on the corner shaking hands. We have the smile of Huntsville, which is Emily O'Rear. The heart of Huntsville, Tara Burnett.
Yeah, I can see that.
The dumpling of Huntsville, Rick Boning. And we're trying. I'm with you on that though, Rick. So
Are
don't
you?
worry. Yeah, we're together on that.
We're double
one.
dumplings?
Yeah, we're four dumplings. I'm trying to think of any other things that we could come up with. So maybe this morning, if you're joining us on the show, what are some other things out there? Some other people that we should attribute these titles to? Because you know what I'm feeling? I'm starting to feel that we get 12 of these, and there's going to be a Huntsville calendar, a 2024 calendar, and each month it's going to feature one of these people. See, Kay and I were talking about like how we just hop on the show and we just fly by the seat of our pants. I had no idea when we came on that we were going to talk about let's get 12 of these things put together in a family-friendly calendar that we can sell here. Maybe that'll be a fundraiser. So we'll figure that out, Rick.
Why not? We can do that.
So it'll be a lot of fun.
Need to come up with some more titles.
That's right. Oh, we got one right here. This is 100% correct. And I did say this, and I forgot to acknowledge her. The grandmother of Huntsville, Carolyn Gibson.
Ah, that's true.
And there was someone who was the mother of Huntsville, and I forgot who that was. There was somebody one day, I said, you're like the mom of Huntsville, and I can't think of who that is. So if I told that was you, I'm sorry, I forgot. So maybe you're a good mom, but you're kind of just on the fence. So we'll have to figure that
The
out.
comedian of Huntsville.
The comedian.
Oh, no, that's Billy Cawthorn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's a dumpling, too,
Yeah.
I'd much rather have the dumpling title. That's kind of an exclusive 4-person club. Luke Archer's here, by the way. Verbal Aikido, a really awesome technique that he's developed to help with conflict resolution and many other things. He's joining us. He's sitting back in the back wondering, what am I got into this morning? He is from France all the way here in Huntsville, Texas, and we're going to have Luke on in just a few moments, so we're really excited. And thanks to UK for introducing us to Luke. We all had a nice little lunch last week, I believe it was, over at Cafe Texan, and got to meet Luke, and he's just full of energy and a perfect addition to have with us here this morning as we celebrate all things good happening in Huntsville. Before we bring Luke on here in about 5 minutes or so, we want to give everyone an opportunity to let us know you're out there this morning. Let us know what you're thankful for today, just like our friend Stephanie Valley over at Magnolia Kennel. She said, good morning. I'm thankful for family and friends. And let us know that you're there today, and again, what you're thankful for and what you're waking up to this morning. We have a lot of situations going on in life, and I mention similar things every morning on this show, but I had something this morning when I woke up that was on my heart just about faith. And, a lot of times in life, I think that we get stressed out. Okay, I'm a business owner, you're a business owner, okay, you're involved, and stress is a real thing. It happens. We can't just ignore it and think everything's going to be rosy and peachy all the time, because let's be honest, it's not. But I still think through faith that we can have that attitude that it's going to be rosy and peachy. So this morning I want to encourage you. Maybe you're not at a place of peace as you're waking up this morning. Something happened overnight, maybe in the last day or the last week or the last month. But I do want to encourage you this morning that when you remain in faith, you can truly find peace. And I believe that, and it's not going to be easy. I was thinking about that this morning, and when I was driving across the bridge that connects the access road, Smiley's over here at, I always forget the road. Is that 75? I think it's...
Yeah, that is Highway 75.
75, 19, all that whole area out there. I get them all mixed up, but you know where I'm talking about, the bridge you come over. And this impression was on my heart this morning about that. And when we remain in faith, things, they're still going to be tough, but you know what? You're going to have a better outlook and a better day. And I was thinking this morning, for those of you that are Christians, when you decide to follow Jesus, I think sometimes for a new Christian, and I know this was me when I was 18 years old, and there was like a little rowdy segment in there, after I accepted Christ, there was like 10 years of rowdiness, and I finally got that out of my system. But I think about when I first accepted Christ, I think of this whole thing of like, a light switch is flipped and now everything's going to be great. And this was the impression that was on my heart besides faith was, the light switch flips, but and on the flip side, things actually may get a little more difficult.
Yeah, devil doesn't want you to succeed.
Absolutely. And so this morning, maybe you're in a situation to where, you feel like, man, I want the light switch to flip, but things are still happening in my life. I'm going to challenge you this morning that maybe you're not remaining completely in faith. Because I think about every downtime that I've had, and we all have peaks and valleys, but I think about the downtimes, and I go back, and it's just so weird how I was driving in, and all this was flying through my head this morning. But I was thinking, every time that I've been down and out, or not feeling good, or maybe bitter about a situation, is because I wasn't practicing what I was preaching. I wasn't remaining in faith. And when you truly think about faith, you can find a place of peace. May not be a great situation, but you can find peace in it. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up. Luke's actually going to be back tomorrow. Just kidding, Luke. We'll have him on here in just a moment. Luke's going to throw down a lot, and so you better be ready to pick up what he's going to throw down coming up here in just a little bit. Before we bring Luke on, Kay, what's been going on in your world?
Working on the third location.
She hasn't actually been working on it.
Well, a lot in my brain.
Yeah, in her brain. Oh, my God, her brain.
There's been a lot of activity. There's been a lot going on. So,
yes, waiting on the carpenter or the electrician and the plumber to get out there, and they're starting the ramps and the deck. They're starting the outside where you can get in instead of stepping on a cinder block to get in the building. So hopefully in a few days we'll have steps. So
don't worry about that. My old house in Georgetown, I had cinder blocks getting into the back room for like 15 years. So, and they got to a point to where they were stepped on so much they broke.
Somehow I don't think that's going to meet the ADA requirements for getting in a building.
We're not going to have cinder blocks breaking tomorrow. Don't worry. But yeah, those things finally broke, and I finally fell one day and almost busted We're going to get Braylon plugged back in. Did you see that? It went off.
I saw that.
Did I bump something?
I don't know.
Yeah, move this little thing away. So I use this cool little, like, old school, I don't know, trackball. Have you ever used one of these?
Yeah.
And
I like them.
I got hooked on. I hated it when I got it.
Me too.
But then I started using it, and now it's like I prefer to use it over the other mouse. And
I like my mouse.
it all goes back to where I didn't want my finger to get any more crooked, because we talked about that on the show, and this thing's like getting twisted up more than a candy cane these days. So
See those little ones?
yeah.
Both been broken. Oh,
Do it that way.
Which one? Your pinkies?
yeah, the pinky's been broken. Volleyball.
Volleyball.
You'd never know I was a volleyball player, would you?
Did you break two at once, or was
No.
it separate?
Separate times.
Huh. Did not know that.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm an amateur because instead of doing this, I must have been doing this.
I thought it was like the Nintendo volleyball, you know, and
Oh,
you
no.
like broke the pinkies holding the controller.
Actual volleyball.
Oh, man. Too much fun this morning, but we love it. Continue to let us know that you're out there, Huntsville, as we'll step aside. We'll take a break. We have national news for you here in just a few moments, and also a word from our sponsors. And we will get to all of you who are saying hello this morning. So let us know you're out there. Let us know what you're up to and what you're thankful for. We'll step aside, take a break. Luke Archer joins us on the other side. As always, it's your show. Good morning, Huntsville.
USA News, I'm Lance Pry. President Biden is in San Francisco, California for a scheduled meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Biden will attend the Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit and will hold talks with Xi today. The leaders are expected to discuss the wars in the Middle East and Ukraine, normalizing communications channels, and eliminating the flow of fentanyl into the United States. The House approved a temporary measure to avert a government shutdown on Friday.
On Tuesday, the House voted in favor of a Republican proposal to fund certain departments until mid-January and the remainder through early February at current spending levels. The bill now moves to the Senate, where bipartisan support exists. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer saying he intends to pass the legislation as soon as possible.
When it comes to government funding, as I have long said, it has to be bipartisan. And right now, that's the path we seem to be on.
I'm John Schaefer.
The new Speaker of the House wants presidential candidate Donald Trump to be president again. Louisiana Republican Mike Johnson reported that he is all in for Trump in 2024. Trump called Johnson a, quote, tremendous congressman respected by everybody, end quote, when he was nominated for Speaker last month. David DePape, the man accused of breaking into the home of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and striking her husband Paul in the head with a hammer, is in court this week. DePape was called to the stand yesterday by his defense attorneys. On the stand, he was asked about his political views. When asked about who else was on the list of targets to go after, DePape responded, President Biden, actor Tom Hanks, former Vice President Mike Pence, Senator Bernie Sanders, Hunter Biden, and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Drummers are so coordinated they can do something different with each limb. Today is officially National Drummer Day. Thanks for listening, my friend. We are USA News.
Attention Medicare recipients and anyone turning 65. Medicare has approved new benefits not included with original Medicare and older Medicare Advantage plans. You may not be getting all of the benefits you're entitled to, including in-home aids, telephone appointments with your doctors, home-delivered meals and prescriptions. These benefits may be available and it's a free call to enroll. The new plans may also offer free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free wellness visits, and gym memberships. Call the Medicare benefits line now. It's easy. Call 800-683-3822. 800-683-3822. Find out if you're eligible for new benefits like meal and prescription delivery, in-home aids, and telemedicine. Some plans may have a $0 monthly premium or zero copays for big out-of-pocket savings. Not all Medicare Advantage plans are alike. The new plans have more benefits for many people. Call 800-683-3822. 800-683-3822. 800-683-3822. 3822.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 $1,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy and even offer hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why at the Color Bar Hair Salon you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
All right, Huntsville, good morning. Welcome back in here. I wanted to say to your favorite morning show, okay? Is that okay? Can we say that? I guess if folks are on here watching, maybe
it is their favorite morning show.
I guess because they're here every morning with us. So it's my favorite morning show.
You kind of have to say that.
So, hey, welcome in. Thanks for joining us here. We appreciate you. So 7:23 today. Wow, we're making early time because we have a special guest on, Luke Archer, all the way from France. He flew in late last night to be here just on this show. And just kidding, but he's been here for a couple of weeks. He is from France, but originally Ireland.
That's correct.
And Luke, so good to have you on the show this morning. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we're going to learn about, this is why Kay's the hug of Huntsville,
Absolutely.
by the way. She's earned that title, and she's worked very hard to get that title. So
I don't know if she worked. It's natural for her. It has that kind of natural flow.
Yeah, so, well, again, Luke is here with us. We're going to hear about something really awesome, and you've been out at Sam Houston State University. You've done this in the past, too, but he is the creator of Verbal Aikido.
That's correct.
And we heard about this technique through the Rotary Club, and then Kay had went to one of y'all's training sessions, and she said, hey, we've got to get Luke on the show. Kay, talk about just that connection, how you and Luke kind of met each other, if you don't mind.
Well, Ken Hendrickson came and did the Rotary presentation, and I said I was interested in going on Wednesday and seeing what this was all about because I really was fascinated by the lecture he gave, and met Luke, and then kind of arm twisted Luke and said, hey, let's go to lunch tomorrow. And then arm twisted him to get him here. What? I'm not sure it was that much of an arm twist.
Not
but,
at all.
You know.
Not at all. It was an easy sell.
It's more of just like a gentle tug here in Huntsville, you know. So, well, it's so great. I'm so glad that you guys connected. And now, you know, Kay, thank you for having Luke on with us this morning. Luke, let us know a little bit about you. Not necessarily the verbal Aikido yet, but maybe just talk a little bit about just your life journey and maybe Ireland a little bit, and then from Ireland to France, and let us know just the kind of the quick story of Luke Archer, if you don't mind.
The quick version. Okay, I'll try. Well, yeah, so I'm Irish. I was born in Dublin, 1974. I grew up there, and in fact, this story kind of does start back in Ireland because growing up, I was subject to kind of a lot of bullying, a lot of verbal abuse, whether it was even at home or in school and in various places. It was something that I struggled with a lot. I guess I try and find ways out of it. A lot of it was through distraction or not necessarily going to confront it. But I think I was always a bit of a dumpling, and growing up as a kid, kids can be kind of mean sometimes, and especially if you're kind of large, that's an easy target for a lot of kids. It can be fat shaming is a thing that truly does exist, and it's something that a lot of people have to deal with. But I think when I was growing up, that really was a thing that touched me deeply. And I think later on in life, I remember seeing this. This quote, which was, be the person you needed when you were younger. And I didn't realize it when I started this project about 15 years ago, Verbal Aikido, but that's actually what we've managed to do. I mean, I came over to France when I was 20, and I've been living there ever since. It's a beautiful country. I live in Lyon, a beautiful city in the center of France. And since then, I started a company helping people manage their classroom activities. And one of my first clients asked me, Luke, can you develop a training to help manage conflict in the classroom? So it was actually a request to care in the time of conflict, to be caring in time of conflict. And I know you want to wait until we talk about Verbal Aikido.
No, this is a good segue.
Well, essentially that is kind of where it came about. It was a request for care in a situation of conflict, and to be able to go that extra mile, not just preserve yourself, not just look after yourself and protect there, but also to protect the other person.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from.
Well, it's really neat as we start digging in here again this morning with Luke Archer. He is the creator of Verbal Aikido. You can find out more information on their website, and we'll have that up here in a little bit once we extend the conversation. The word Aikido, let's talk about that first. The root of Verbal Aikido obviously is attached to the word Aikido. Let us know what Aikido is and kind of how all that flows together.
Absolutely. Aikido, it's a Japanese term. Aikido was developed, it's a martial art that was developed in Japan in the course of the 20th century by a guy called Morihiro Shiba. He actually came to the States. He did a lot of traveling and sharing the practice around. There's many dojos. A dojo is a place of practice. There's many of them around the States, around the world. There's millions of people who practice it. But essentially, Aikido is, what does it mean? It's the way to harmonize energy. So when you think about that, you don't think about a martial art where you win and you get the better and you dominate the other person. It's much more harmonizing. So essentially, you won't see Aikido in the Olympic Games or anything like that. Now, it's a kind of hard concept, but especially this idea that your adversary is not your adversary, it's your partner. And so, again, you're trying to protect that other person. And this is why when I'd done Aikido, a little bit of Aikido before, I started to develop this training. And that's why it kind of made sense for me, because it was about reducing the attack to nothing. So to trying to make sure that the other person doesn't want to attack you anymore. So instead of saying, I'm trying to get the better of you and you're going to get a load of bruises, I'm going to get a load of bruises, and at the end of it, we're going to come out of it and maybe I'll feel a little bit better because you've got more bruises than me. It's much more, I'm going to, try and reduce whatever energy you have to something that could potentially go into a direction where we're actually walking in the same direction, or we're not attacking each other at the very least.
So is there like a winner? And I'm still talking on the physical part of Aikido before we dig into the verbal part, which we're going to get into. But for Aikido, is there like a winner or a loser? I mean, what is an Aikido? Is there a match? Kind of what does that look like if two people are together with this?
Well, like I said, there's no winner match. There's not a person that gets their hand raised at the end of it to say you won. Essentially, it's people will practice with each other. They're more conferences than competitions. Oh, okay. So if me and Kay are practicing, I'll lend my hand to give her an opportunity to practice. And I'll throw a punch, or I'll try and grab her arm or something. And what she will get to do is she'll get to use the techniques that we kind of showed to be able to blend with the energy rather than block it. Once you start any blocks, you're going to get bruises. So instead of doing that, we're going to blend with the energy, almost like a dance, and the practice is kind of dance-like. So she'll blend with it, and kind of circularly kind of come in around and reduce that to nothing. Now, in the worst case scenario, she will immobilize me. She will make me kind of go, okay, yes, I don't want to attack you anymore, stop. But that is in a very non-aggressive way. It's not in a very. I'm not going to break your arm. It's not because you've hurt me that I'm stopped. It's just that I can't move. Okay, I give up and I tap out. So and the other person, again, that's the extreme case. But in most situations, it's the other person's energy will kind of be not used against them, but it will kind of show them that there's no point continuing to attack.
I almost think of, while you're describing this, I've seen all these videos on YouTube of just amazing athletes and people with incredible God-given strength. But you would look at them and be like, they don't even really look like they're that strong, but it's these techniques that they practice. What I'm thinking of when you're describing this, and I'm still kind of on the physical side, but as you were talking about, having a partner with you, I'm thinking of an object like the road could be that partner. If you're riding a bike and you start to fall off of it, I'm picturing these techniques that you're talking about, and I'm trying to describe this. It's hard for me, but I've seen videos to where people are like falling, but then they know how to like roll properly to absorb energy. Are you picking up what I'm putting down on that?
100%.
So is that kind of what this is in a way?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And in fact, I mean, the kind of the difference between the martial side of things and the physical side of things is that we get a lot more verbal attacks than physical attacks. In fact, with the years of practice in Aikido that I've had, the only time I've ever actually used it was when I fell off my bike. And I managed to get that reflex, and it was there that I kind of rolled and I got up and I was like, oh, wow.
And you absorbed the energy from the road and all that, right?
The reflexes just kicked in. So it takes anything, absolutely, you're right. Anything can be an opportunity to practice. In fact, one of the things that my son said kind of at first when I started doing this, he says, Dad, since you're doing verbal Aikido, you don't get annoyed at the printer anymore.
That's awesome.
So the printer is something that you can manage as something that creates tension, and how can you manage that in an Aikido fashion? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, let's take it from the physical side now. And you have thrown your own twist into this, and you're the creator, the inventor, if you will, the founder of this technique called verbal Aikido. So it's the same thing when you think about deflecting energy. We talked this morning when we came on the show about we're gonna learn today about how to handle conflict, and verbal Aikido is a method to do this. We've all been in situations to where that feeling that you have when you're in the middle. You're like, oh man, I just feel something coming on, and you can feel the tension, the negative energy. But verbal Aikido is a way to steer conversations in a better place, I guess you could say. Let us know about the verbal side and kind of what led you to invent this.
Well, yeah, it's funny. People do say I invented it, I created it. It really is rather I noticed it. I noticed what's happening. Everyone has noticed this on some level. So you see it, and I just kind of got a little bit obsessed about it. And,
that's all right.
And got, just started noticing three things. And essentially those three things are the things that, it's like any martial art, it takes time to practice and to develop those reflexes. But once you've got it, they kind of they click in, and you just do them naturally. So if I can share just a little bit about,
please, yeah.
I guess there's two parts. You've talked about like the verbal part, so there's the words, but there's a much deeper part of that, which is the essence of the moves that you do, which is me, you, us, and that takes practice to have these postures, if you like, this way of managing things. So one of the things you were talking about earlier is like, if something else comes at you, how do you get back to that place? That's the first move. That's the kind of the first thing that we do, is we're working constantly on returning to what we call a centered place. So I don't know if all the viewers here are going to understand what centered means. I think you get a sense for it, but it really is kind of, it's a personal place. Everyone's kind of got their own way to get there, or their own sensation within, but it's like a muscle that you're developing. Try to get back to, how can I get quicker and quicker back to that inner peace, if you like, or it could be just a sense of calm, serenity, confidence. Any of these terms that relate to you, if they speak to you, well then you got to go looking for it. But essentially, you'll always be taken off.
Yeah.
The wonderful universe gives us these opportunities to show that we still have lots to learn, right? And to stay within that kind of humility's place, to say, I'm going to have things to learn. I was doing a conference just there recently, and I forgot the cable and to get my computer hooked up to the big screen. And okay, that was an opportunity for me to say, how can I return to accepting what's going on here, not necessarily just becoming a victim of it, but being able to say, okay, I'm coming back to that center space. And that's the first thing we do. And even before you start talking, it's about how to get there. And in terms of the verbal part of it, it really is, it's a mix between understanding the other person. And that takes, again, another skill. It's a really true skill, that what we call that you posture. Being there neutral for that other person, trying to get in behind how they see things, instead of pushing back or counterattacking. Most people will either push back, counterattack, they will flee, they'll try and get out of there, or they'll try and divert it or avoid the conflict, or they will just freeze up. And there are three reactions. They work in certain situations. They might help, but they're not long-term strategies. In no way are they long-term strategies. So what we're looking at in verbal Aikido is a means to have a long-term relationship with yourself, with other people, that is actually conducive to healthy relationships.
Yeah, so, I like the whole tagline. As I was reading here again, Luke Archer joining us with verbal Aikido, from conflict to conversation. And I think one thing that really helped is you do such a great job kind of describing this and how it works. But what really, I talked about a light switch earlier. Sometimes light switches are good. This is one that's good. The light switch for me was whenever we kind of did a real world scenario. So let's try one of those real quick. So you and I are sitting down. And redirect me if I'm going the wrong way with this, because I'm trying to put it in a way that I think our audience will understand also. You and I in a room, let's pretend maybe we've never really met before. You have ideas for the way that something should be done. So you may come at me and say, yeah, Rob, I think that this and this would be a great idea. My response could be, I think that's a terrible idea and it's not going to make any sense.
Okay, can we do something? Because this is really the way we work on it, is you stay in character. You be that person. You throw it at me. And instead of sort of saying what I would say, this is it. You need to kind of feel it. I can't know where it's going to go until, depending on their response.
Okay, you want to take?
So, this is the biggest hogwash I've ever heard. I mean, what kind of system is this? I mean, this is just stupid.
Tell me more about what you mean.
This whole verbal stuff. I mean, people come at me and attack me all the time, and you're expecting me just to kind of lay down and take it?
Well, how do you manage it now?
Usually I listen and then I say my mind.
That's pretty good, yeah. Is there anything else you do? Well, listen.
Sometimes I'm really angry afterwards.
Okay, all right. And how do you deal with that?
I take it out on Rick.
Okay. Well, is there anything you'd like to know about verbal Aikido, or would you like to talk more about Rick?
Can I pause real quick here? Because I want to say this. From a bystander, from a bystander, when you guys first started talking, I could feel this very heavy, almost like this thing's going downhill fast, to where Kay was getting upset, but you remained calm. And you started asking other questions, and those questions got her to stop and think. And as soon as that happened, there was that one moment where sometimes we may call it awkward silence, but what I felt like was Kay's guard now went down. Right. She's no longer...
And I kept trying to bring it back.
Yeah, she was
trying hard. She's good.
But she's no longer defensive, and now she's having to stop and think about it. And that's part of the technique, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a really good illustration there, because, in fact, she was coming at me, and I was just trying to get in behind, try and see her position on this. And essentially, one of the things that contributes to escalation in exchanges is not feeling understood. Misunderstandings, they're commonplace. So if we can at least kind of address that initially, to say, hey, you know what? I'm centered, you're right. I'm coming back. I'm going to come back to this place. It's not a kind of I'm in a good place and you're not. There's not that. It's just I've got that centered serenity within, and I want to be able to share that with you if I can. That's that.
Yeah,
sort of
and I
central
tried to
place.
attack you on what was your baby.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, true,
you
yeah,
know, I went personal.
Yeah, she said the word. She said the S word, stupid. But I'm serious. When I was thinking of this, you're so right on this, Lou, and it's so good to have you on and explain this. And I think this is something, we have a lot of folks in the business community that watch this show as well, not just, folks that are, just employees or people that are parents. We do have a lot of that as well, but we have folks from all different diverse backgrounds, which is why I love doing this. But it's so important because you remained calm when she attacked you. How many times do we engage in a conversation in our daily lives to where somebody attacks us, immediately our defenses go up and we just throw it right back? Mm-hmm. And this technique teaches not only for you to listen to the other person, but also for you to remain calm. Because when I've told people stuff and they come back at me, I start shaking, man. I do not like that conflict.
Yeah. Well, not a lot of people do. But the curious thing is, as I said, there's much more opportunities to practice this in daily life, the verbal Aikido, than there is martial Aikido. Thankfully, I think for most people, and that is a good thing. But essentially, when you've developed the reflexes to be able to return to that centered place more easily, it does not mean that we're never going to get taken off our center, but it just means, like I said, that we can get back to that place quicker. So she could say something to me, and I could feel that. I could feel that little twinge. But what we learned to do is to use that twinge. For me, it's like when somebody puts on a swimming cap on my head. It goes click, and I feel it. And everyone's got that somewhere. But you use that. You learn to use that twinge as it's like a gear shift point. You can, go into reverse in that, and you can go into so many different directions. You have an opportunity to say, how am I going to react to what's happening to me? This is telling me I've got a choice. This twinge, and from that, you develop that reflex to go. It's not to kind of go, I'm going to accept what she's saying. At no stage did I agree with her. I didn't push back on what she was saying, but I kind of got in to see what she was trying to mean about that, or where she was going, or what her intention was, or what she'd prefer, or any of those kind of side of things. So we learned to, little by little, but got some kind of nice little quick techniques that actually do help along that way. So if you do it like a training, you'll come out of it with 3 or 4 little techniques that you'll be like, I could use that in that place, I could use that in that place. But it's like, if you do any sort of martial arts, you can't just go to 1 or 2 trainings or read a book on it and say, that's it, great, let's go to those rough neighborhoods now, bring it on, everybody. No, you've got to take the time to incorporate it and to develop those reflexes. But
it takes practice.
It takes practice, just like anything.
And I will say, your first comment, it kind of like took the wind out of my sails, and I'm like, I'm mad. I gotta, which is hard when you're not really mad.
Yeah. Well, this is it. You're leading towards a conversation. You're saying whatever it is that we need to discuss, whatever opinion you have and whatever position I have, we can talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Or as you saw at the end, we can talk about verbal Aikido, or we can talk about something else. That's okay. I'm kind of at peace with what verbal Aikido is, so I don't need to kind of shout it out from the rooftops or make you believe what I believe. I'm at peace with it. It's okay. So I'm comfortable just leading with an energy of conversation.
The need about we so appreciate Luke Archer being here and sharing his expertise and this technique. I mean, there's so many people listening this morning and watching today, and even folks that will come back later that you're seeing this maybe 4 or 5 hours later in the day, like a lot of people do. I already know that there's people's brains out there that are ticking, saying, man, I can use these techniques and I can apply them in my workplace. I mean, there's so much conflict in a workplace, and it's tough
there's
sometimes.
Conflict in your house.
There's conflict in the house with your
clean
children.
Clean your room.
Yeah.
Clean your room.
Why is it that you want me to clean my room? See, is that part of you just?
Yeah,
I'm not going to clean my room right. It's neat how you can think about how you're going to apply this in different areas where conflict pop up in conversation.
Yeah. And that's it. I mean, anything that is said or even that's done that creates tension within you, there's an opportunity to practice, and that's really how we work on things in the dojo. That's where we practice this martial art, and essentially, what we ask people to do is bring your attacks. So bring your attacks. And just like Kay did there, we'll say, okay, bring your attack, throw an attack at me. I'll manage it and just show you how to shift that energy, and then let's work on doing that. So
what's the worst thing your boss ever said to you?
Yeah.
That's it. This is what we ask people to do. What are the most challenging attacks you've ever had? Come, bring, show, and then we'll show you how you can deal with protecting yourself and protecting the other person.
Well, this is great this morning. We're hearing from our friend Luke Archer all the way from France here in Huntsville. We'll talk more in just a moment. We are going to take a brief break. Do you mind hanging out with us for one more segment?
That's good.
This has been great this morning to have Luke with us to share some of his expertise. We will step aside, take a break, and when we come back, we're going to learn more about how you can attend one of his training seminars happening right here in our community, and it's a really awesome opportunity for you as a business person, as an employee, as a manager, or as a mom or a dad, or a brother or a sister, and no charge. So we'll talk about where you can attend this training session when we come back. For now, though, I want to remind you this week, we are here on a Wednesday, brought to you by Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. They are the educational experts here in Huntsville. We're also, as always, giving away some stuff this week. How about a little gobble to get you started here? This week's keyword is gobble, along with your name. Please text that in to 936-339-0139 on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. Again, gobble, along with your name, to 936-339-0139. I've got a gift card today that I'm going to give away to the Cafe Texan.
Oh.
So,
you can't do that on Wednesdays.
Can't do it on a Wednesday. We are giving away, Kay loves the Cafe Texan. We are giving away a $30 gift card today, though, the Cafe Texan. So all you got to do, text in gobble to 936-339-0139. For now, though, we'll step aside, take a break, hear a word from some of our very important sponsors, and we'll be back in a moment. As always, this is your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
Hey friends, Rob Hip here. As a guy, jewelry's not really my thing. I never know what I'm looking for. I feel uncomfortable, and I just don't understand how certain things look good together. But that's why I depend on Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Whenever Bridget and I wanted to get engaged, we said, we need to go to a place to where someone's going to take care of us. They're going to make me feel comfortable as a guy, but they're also going to take care of her needs as well. So I went into Elliot's, and he was so gracious and compassionate with my understanding, and I wanted something that looked a little masculine for my engagement band, and he said, I've got the perfect thing for you. And he found some white hammered gold that was trimmed in 14 karat gold, also put a diamond on that ring to signify my love for Bridget, and as we grow and our family grows, we can put a diamond around the rest of those. So friends, if you're looking for someone that is dedicated to customer service, that understands the needs of people and does what's right all the time, there's nobody better than my friend. It's Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
happy Wednesday to you. As you're waking up with us here on your morning show, Good Morning Huntsville, where we hope to encourage you, to lift you up, to inspire you no matter what you're going through today. Today is a good day. There's an old rap song that I won't sing. We start rapping on this show sometimes, Luke. I'm going to save you just the embarrassment of me rapping today, so we won't do that with you. Don't worry, my friend.
Aw.
But I was sitting here thinking, I was like, man, I wish that when we were talking about the not the verbal Aikido, but just the other part of Aikido, I thought, man, this would be cool if we had like a big area in here. We could have you actually perform some of these moves, but we decided, we don't have enough room in here. But next time you come into town, we're going to figure that out.
All
so
right.
we want to welcome you back in. 50 degrees as you're waking up.
We still want you to come back, even though we said that.
Yeah, we do. We want you to come back. 50 degrees as you're waking up this morning. A little foggy and misty earlier, but that fog and mist has already lifted here in Huntsville. Humidity, though, high at 96% today. Patchy fog early that's already starting to burn off. We're going to have a beautiful day here in Huntsville. How about 72 degrees here in Huntsville, Texas today, and it's going to be sunny. Tonight, 52 and clear. More of the same tomorrow, friends. We have a great, beautiful week lined up until we hit Sunday when rain re-enters the forecast. But I'm going to tell you, if you got stuff you need to do outside, you just call your boss and say, I ain't coming in this week. You just take off and you get fired and you just enjoy being outside, and then you look for a new job on Monday. Just kidding. Don't do that. Kay's like, please don't do that. But we're back at it.
Verbal Aikido there.
Yeah. I'm not coming in, Kay. Well, why aren't you coming in? Luke Archer again joining us here with this technique, Verbal Aikido. It's been so great having Luke in all the way from France, and he is here in our community. I did want to talk more about the training session coming up on Saturday, but before that, you talked a little bit earlier, and so maybe kind of recycle. We'll go back a bit. I mean, how did the connection to Huntsville, Texas happen?
Yeah, it's a great story. In fact, I think it was 8 years ago, my good friend Ken, Dr. Hendrickson from the graduate school in Sam State, reached out to me. He'd read a couple of my books, and he said, I'm interested in this practice. I looked at it. I kind of used some of it in a keynote speech I was doing the other day, and I'd like you to come over and share the practice a little bit with some of the team here. I came over. We have an initial 2-day workshop. And so I came over. This is back in, I think, 2015 or 2016. This is going back a bit. And since then, I remember after the 2-day course, he took me into his office and we had a good chat. And he said, how can we do more of this? And how can we get the word out there? Because this is good stuff. It's not just technique. There's a real soul to the practice. And, it's about being human, and it's you could see the kind of the potential in it. And every year since, Sam State University has been gracious enough to ask me to come back at least for a week. And this time I've been over here for a month now, just working up in Sam State for this full week, but doing various events, having the opportunity to meet Kay and Rick, and having the opportunity to meet you too. But I was down in Houston on the weekend working with the Association for Conflict Resolution in Houston. Absolutely wonderful people.
Awesome.
It was really, really lovely. Dr. Manuso, I don't know if you've heard her. She's a lovely woman. She invited me down to really kind of to share the practice with mediators, with arbitrators, with people who could really use it. In fact, we've been working with education, medical, and social for the last 15 years.
Well, it's great. Again, Luke Archer being here with us. We so appreciate him. Unofficially an honorary, I have to say unofficially just because I don't want the university to get upset at me, unofficially honorary Bearcat. So,
well, I'll come prepared.
I love it. I love the hoodie. Sam Houston State University, such a great organization. They've just embraced you, and it's so great to have Dr. Hendrickson, connect with you. And in fact, his daughter Cecilia is coming by to pick up some prizes she won a little bit later this morning. But that connection with the university is so great. Has just that connection with Sam Houston State, has it opened any other doors to other universities? Do you ever go speak to other universities?
Not yet. We haven't managed to kind of break through that. We did work with the College of Medicine as well, but again, connected with Sam State. We worked with them this year as well. I did a few days up down there, if you like. We're the thing about I think I feel the thing about the practice that is kind of curious, and it has this sort of slow burn development is that as a practitioner, you're never trying to kind of convince anyone of anything. So I have a tendency myself. I'm not really much of a salesperson, I'd say, but essentially, if people get to come to the practice, and then it's always been developed by kind of word of mouth. People would come to it and practice. So I'm not out there going, hey, look at this. This is great. It's wonderful. You should come. You should come. Hey, you should really come. I just say, hey, if somebody comes up to me and says, what's it about, then I'll share a little bit about it. And if they're interested in coming, then I'll let them come. But if they don't want to come, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just ready to embrace whatever is coming. So I don't really push it in any way, but so it's a slow. It is a slow burn. A friend of mine in Paris said to me, Luke, there's two different types of sales. There's the wolf, where you have a prey and you go out and you catch it and then you bring it back, and that's how wolves develop. But there's also the flower, and the flower just is, and the bees come to it. He goes, "You're a flower."
I love that.
So,
love that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of events, big one coming up here in Huntsville. It's going to be on the campus of Sam Houston State University at the University Hotel, just right down the road from Johnson Coliseum. There on that same street. Let us know about this event coming up on Saturday. How can the community come out? How many seats are there? How much availability is there? Those kind of things.
Well, essentially, it's an event that's from 9 to 1. 9 to 1 on this coming Saturday in the University Hotel in Hospitality Room 100. You'll see there'll be signs and everything. There's sufficient parking for everybody. There is, as far as I know, there's 50 seats. There's 50 places. We've still got a few seats that are left. So do contact us. Contact here. Contact the university, the graduate school, to be able to get your place in that if you'd like to come over. There's going to be free food. There's going to be essentially just events to help you understand what it is, and of course to be able to practice it. It's like anything. It's like a dance. If you come along, kind of expect that you're going to get onto the mat at some stage to be able to do that, to practice that dance, to get into a few of the moves.
You do what we did.
What we just did, yeah.
What we just did.
Exactly, yeah.
And I did talk to Ken. He
Good.
said, because I told him, I said, I'm hoping there's more than 50 people. So he's well aware that they might have to move or do something different if you get more than 50.
If you get more than that, okay. We'll be very
Because I'm
welcome.
working on that.
Thank you.
And I'll show here on the screen, just for folks, again, Luke Archer with us here as we are talking about verbal Aikido and this wonderful seminar that he has put together that will be happening Saturday here at Sam Houston State University. For those of you that are on the video stream right now, you'll be able to see this. If you're on Spirit Radio on the app listening this morning, you won't, so I'll describe it here. But we do have a little flyer up there on the screen. So Saturday, November the 18th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at University Hotel here at Sam Houston State University. It is just right down the street from the Johnson Coliseum. And for more information on this, you can email, or to sign up, you can email thegraduateschool@shsu.edu. So again, to sign up, email thegraduateschool@shsu.edu. You'll learn about peaceful communication, effective conflict resolution, respecting all interactions, building relationships, and also having a positive mindset, which is so important. For someone that's walking into this on Saturday, and I know we just described kind of what they're going to learn. I mean, what can they expect? What's the atmosphere going to be like when somebody walks in?
Well, it's we create this safe and benevolent environment. It's so key to the practice. There's a special thing that we're kind of, we're opening it up to this year for people. Because it's coming up to Thanksgiving, and that is unfortunately one of those moments for some people that there can be a lot of tension in those family exchanges, as Kay said earlier. It's not just in the workplace; it can often be at home. So in that situation, if you can anticipate what sort of attitudes or what sort of topics would be hot topics that you'd like to be able to manage with and kind of be able to de-escalate if necessary, bring them. So essentially, the atmosphere, if you like, is it's a very helpful atmosphere. There's going to be a good few people there who are already seasoned practitioners who can help whoever comes to be able to kind of guide them onto the path of recognizing this energy. Essentially, what we're always trying to do is manage the energy, not necessarily the person. Because if the energy's right, the content will just kind of sort itself out,
Yeah.
So it's an interactive environment. It is good to know that I won't be just standing there looking at PowerPoints all. I'm kind of against that.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah, it really needs to, as soon as possible. We're actually starting to move. It's like if you're learning how to paint, and I spend an hour and a half talking to you about what painting is without giving you a paintbrush. You need to grab that paintbrush and start exploring it. It takes a bit of courage, obviously, but you'll see that the people are very caring, and it's a very warm environment.
Are you going to have the action cards like you did Wednesday?
Yeah, we that's right. We work with something I call the sack attack, which is a little bag with loads of real attacks that people have had over the years, and we've collected them. We have many more, but here we've got like 30 different attacks that you can just explore and sort of choose whichever one you go, oh yeah, you're so lazy, that's a good one. Or you think you're always right, which is a really common one.
That's a big one, yeah.
So any of these that if they'd help people kind of just get into it, but as soon as possible, as soon as people feel comfortable, say, yeah, bring the real attacks, and just start exploring how we can work the verbal Aikido energy with that, bring it to a conversation.
Yeah, well, so great, Luke. So it's such a privilege and a blessing to have you here on our show this morning. Again, Luke Archer with Verbal Aikido. You can find out more information at verbalaikido.org. That's the word verbal, Aikido spelled AIKIDO, AIKIDO.org. So verbalaikido.org. But again, the event happening at University Hotel here in Huntsville this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Keyword, besides learning these techniques, Luke said food, and Huntsville is a community of food. So come on out, grab you a bite to eat, and learn something amazing. Again, Luke, so wonderful to have you on, and we appreciate you very much. Kay, did you have any final words for Luke before we let him go?
Speaking of food, you
Yes.
were going to say something about the food.
I have been blown away by Huntsville. You guys, I was saying, you undersell yourselves. Kay was wonderful. She, when I met her the next day, she got me to go to Cafe Texan, and I have loved the Cafe Texan. The food there is absolutely wonderful. If y'all haven't seen it, the museum there, and it's impressive, a museum. I like taking photographs, sent this to everyone back home, going, look, check this out. It's absolutely amazing. It blew me away. Yeah, they're very modest about it, and I think it's definitely worth going checking out. But the food, absolutely wonderful. So much to choose from. It's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, he was sitting there like this.
Yeah.
I took a couple of pictures.
Just to me with my mouth open.
I haven't shared them with you, but I was going to send them to you and share your reaction to seeing some of the artifacts was really nice.
Thanks, Kate.
Well, great. Yeah. Such a fun morning here today again with our friend Luke Archer, a friend of Huntsville now, and so we openly and warmly welcome him to our community anytime. And come on back. We'd love to have you. I know you're going to be here. When are you leaving? Because I know the event's Saturday. When are you heading out of town and heading back?
I'm heading back on Friday 24th. I think,
okay.
Which is,
well,
Friday.
Yeah, Friday. When's Thanksgiving? Thursday?
It's a Thursday.
You need to go. We need to get you some Thanksgiving turkey somewhere, my friend.
Don't worry. My good friend Ken has looked out that.
Awesome. Okay.
I've been invited to stay this year for the Thanksgiving.
Wonderful. We wanted to make sure you had some turkey in your belly and some of that. What is it? Stuffing. You like cranberry sauce?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like the canned cranberry. Okay. You know the stuff that comes in a can and comes out and jiggles. It's not that good actually. So. All right, we'll step aside, take a break. Such a wonderful blessing again to have Luke Archer with us here this morning, and learn more online at verbalaikido.org. Also, the event happening Saturday from 9 to 1 at University Hotel. One final opportunity today to win that $30 gift card to Cafe Texan. All you got to do is text in the keyword. It is gobble. Text in gobble along with your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. We'll call our lucky winner when we come back. Stay with us as we'll thank some more of our great sponsors, and we'll be back to close it out on your show. As always, this is Good Morning Huntsville. Hip here. As a guy, jewelry's not really my thing. I never know what I'm looking for. I feel uncomfortable, and I just don't understand how certain things look good together. But that's why I depend on Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Whenever Bridget and I wanted to get engaged, we said, we need to go to a place to where someone's going to take care of us. They're going to make me feel comfortable as a guy, but they're also going to take care of her needs as well. So I went into Elliot's, and he was so gracious and compassionate with my understanding, and I wanted something that looked a little masculine for my engagement band, and he said, I've got the perfect thing for you. And he found some white hammered gold that was trimmed in 14 karat gold, also put a diamond on that ring to signify my love for Bridget, and as we grow and our family grows, we can put a diamond around the rest of those. So friends, if you're looking for someone that is dedicated to customer service, that understands the needs of people and does what's right all the time, there's nobody better than my friend. It's Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. Back at it here, 8:09 in the a.m. Got a little news flash for you. If you're supposed to be at work at 9 o'clock, you probably listened to what we just said about don't even show up. You're fired. No more job for you. No job for you. That's not funny, Kay. We don't ever...
No, I was trying to think of the verbal Aikido response to that.
Yeah.
You know.
Verbal Aikido response to that. Yeah, how would you respond to you're fired? Well, why do you think
just left?
Why do you think it is that I'm fired? Well, because you didn't show up to work late.
I was learning how to talk to you.
I was learning how to talk. Here, Kay, let's slide down real quick. Rick's not here, so we'll slide a Rooski here real quick. This is like the shifting of the show here. Hold on, there we go.
I'm running all over these cables.
That's all right. Hey, this show is just all about on the
You
But
just want the little pointy thing to come out of my head.
yeah, that's right. Hello, HuntsvilleTX.com. How are you? No, so great. Kay, thank you so much for getting Luke on. I mean, he's just an incredible man, and he's so passionate about what he does. And I think that's so important. Maybe that's a message. And I know you've got some Wednesday wisdom here in just a moment. We'll call our winner here in just a few moments as well. That $30 gift card. And then we'll talk about your Wednesday wisdom. But maybe that's.
I was going to say it now before I forgot.
Yeah, go ahead. Actually, then you better go ahead. What do you got today, Kay?
So every one of us was raised a certain way, and habits are hard to break. Mm-hmm. It takes 21 days to break a habit. I mean, if you are trying to quit smoking or something and you have a cigarette, then you got to start over again, 21 days. But this whole method is kind of breaking the way we were raised. And like he was talking about bullying and stuff, and I was bullied because I was the smart kid. And so, I had the techniques maybe, what would my life have been different, knowing how to respond to those bullies and things like that. So just because you've always been raised a certain way, you can learn how to stand up to bullies. You can learn to stand up. I mean, I had abusive husbands before I met Rick. And so I've learned how to not accept that kind of treatment. And so, and part of that's because I was bullied. And I also had some other incidences happen as a child. And so you can learn to change. And so you just have to, and the information's out there. So it takes 21 days to change a habit and break a habit, or to focus on something new. So this is a great thing to go to Saturday and learn how to deal with people attacking you.
Yeah, that's so good, Kay, and so important. And maybe you're in that boat today to where you feel like something happened, and I need to learn how to handle that, and how can I overcome that? How can I overcome the conflict? And it's so important, and folks like Luke and what he's doing with verbal Aikido.
And society's just getting worse. I mean, it's not like we're getting nicer to each other.
Now, in Huntsville, yes, we're getting nicer. This is where you want to be. But outside of Huntsville, no, I'm just kidding. So, well, let's head over to the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. The randomizer selected a while ago, and here we go. And I do know this person.
Oh, so am I doing the call?
Do you want to? You might as well. They're probably listening right now. I think they've won before. If they don't answer, I'll just give it to you today, Kay. How about that?
Okay. I like that.
I thought they answered.
Your call has been...
they did not win. $30.
Ooh, I get a gift certificate.
$30 gone. All right, friends, that'll wrap it up here on the show. Thanks for being a part of it. Hey, check this out. This is someone that's and he actually comes in. He doesn't live here. Again, you're my auditor. I'm not cheating, right?
Yeah.
Pick, and the winner is. All right, hold on. Oh, they called back.
So you lied to me. I don't get the gift certificate.
Hello.
Hello.
Boy, you got lucky because we were about to call somebody else. And, if you don't answer, you don't win. But if you took the president to call us back, I think you have to win, right, Kay?
She has to share lunch with me.
Yeah, you have to you have to give $15 to our co-host, okay?
That works.
No, I'm just kidding. Sally Hosey on the phone with us. Sally, congratulations. How are you doing?
Thanks. I'm doing great.
Is the TV still hanging on the wall? I'm a little concerned about that. Is it still good?
It is hanging really well. I like it. We moved some things around. Thank you so much for your help.
Well, I was just concerned because when you get me involved in hanging TVs, it's not a good thing. Just kidding. So they have a really awesome big TV, and so and these are actually our former neighbors when we lived on the other side of town, and just wonderful folks, Robert and Sally. And Sally, what have you been up to? I was like, why aren't you answering the phone? I know you're not working right now.
No, getting ready to hit the Centerville and celebrate my granddaughter's 12th birthday.
Oh, all right. Well, happy birthday. What's your granddaughter's name?
Her name is Cadence.
Cadence. That's a beautiful name. Well, happy birthday, Cadence. You can go back and show her this little clip right here, and we will say happy birthday to Cadence today on the show.
Happy birthday, Cadence.
Oh, yes, she'll be excited to hear that.
Awesome. Well, we will get you this gift card, $30 to Cafe Texan, and you and Robert can go and have a nice meal and enjoy downtown Huntsville. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
And make sure you go see the museum.
Yeah, have you been over there yet, Sally, to Cafe Texan?
I've been there.
Like since they
It's been a
redid
while
it?
since we've been there, though.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, perfect. Well, Kay has one final message for you.
What are you thankful for today?
I am thankful for all the friends that we have made in Huntsville, and I really love this small town.
All right, there she is, Sally Hosey, our winner. Definitely not a chicken dinner because you're going to Cafe Texan. So congrats. Well, I guess you could have chicken dinner over there.
I think
Dinner's
they do.
coming back soon, isn't it? I think they're working on. Tom was saying they're working on dinner soon again.
But they're having
Something.
They have Thursday and Friday.
Okay. Well, there
I'm
you go.
not sure about Saturday, but they do have evening meals now.
If you show up and they don't have an evening meal, you did not hear us on Hello Huntsville saying they did, by the way. All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, take care. God bless you. And send Robert a hello from us as well. Congratulations, Sally.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, there she is, Sally Hosey, the winner today. Cafe Texan $30 gift card. And so how about that? So I think that it's great, and I think that it's an awesome time to get out and celebrate Huntsville, especially this week. It's going to be so nice. So we're so thankful for that. We did want to get to some folks real quick before we head out of here. A lot of people messaging. I know there was a comment. We'll get to that one here in a moment. Clay Towsworth, good morning to you over at 0 Degree. Hey, a little Santa Saucier joining us this morning, saying good morning, folks. Billy Cawthon, one of the 4 dumplings here this morning. Good morning, dumpling. How you doing? Jennifer Augustinetti is always saying good morning. It's a wonderful Wednesday. Y'all have a blessed day. She says find a Bible study to go to if you're able. And their church there, they have dinner and Bible studies at 6:30 p.m. So we appreciate that, Jennifer. So wonderful to hear from you. Janet Davidson over at Casa. Saw her last night yesterday evening at HLI. She was our last speaker yesterday.
Oh, good.
So Janet saying hello, Huntsville. Good morning to you. Good morning to Carolyn Gibson. Stephanie Valley over at Magnolia Kennel that we mentioned earlier saying good morning. Thankful for family and friends. Pop's Woodshop. That's Mr. Scott saying good morning. Carolyn earlier was saying she's the grandmother of Huntsville. We named her that, so that was true. Tammy saying good morning, Kay, Rick, and Rob a little bit earlier. Quentin,
Yeah, she's in California, so she's watching from California.
She's in Cali. Quentin joining us saying good morning. Kyle Kreiner, he's saying morning. I love that. Kyle, he was saying that Kay was awfully quiet this morning. You weren't quiet.
I must start off quiet.
Yeah, I do. You know, so once we get rolling, we get flowing.
It's hard sometimes to get in between you and Rick and talk.
Yeah, so I always try to bring you in. You know, that's why I threw that conflict at you. I was like, I don't want to deal with that conflict. I just threw it at you this morning.
Like maybe the bad guy.
Jerica joining us, saying good morning for Fargo. Good morning to you. Sam over at Lee Barron. He was talking earlier saying keep the faith and help each other. Tara Burnett, good morning. Mackenzie Oliver, Saucier Woodworks. Quentin Music Man Williams, Trisha Powell, Kathy Schweitzer, Paul Oley over at the gallery. He's watching.
Yeah, and Rick leaves and then talks smack about me.
Yeah, he did. What did he say here?
He said I was up to no good.
Yeah, look at this. Replying to Clay, probably up to no good. Way to go, Rick. Paul, by the way, he said that he's out walking the horses in the morning and he has his phone in his back pocket and he listens to us before he comes into the gallery. So, Paul, we love you, man. Appreciate you very much. Steph did have a comment here, though. That she says, but if your life was different, would you have accomplished what you accomplished? I think our hardships develop some of our drive for our future goals. She said comfort, but she meant future goals, and I agree with that too.
True.
Yeah,
that's true. I would not go back and change anything. You know, you go back and try to play the what if this had happened and stuff like that. And you know, there's things like I wouldn't have my children, I wouldn't have the school. I mean, all these different things have happened for a reason. But that doesn't mean like from today that I have to continue with putting up with abuse or anything like that. I mean, I got to the point where, you know, it's like, no, that's wrong, that's unacceptable, and changed my mindset, changed how I was dealing with things, and that's brought me to where I am at this point in time today. I had to change a mindset during COVID. You know, we bought the pink house to use for the school. And God said I was going to use it for the school, and Rick wanted to bulldoze it, and I wanted to use it as a rental house. And when God said use it for the school, I'm like, we only have like half enrollment at the main location. Why on earth would I add another building and not be able to? I mean, it'd be empty. And so my mindset had to change to listen to God to start that. And then from that process, and now we're going to 3 schools. So that whole mindset right there around the pink house changed big time.
Well, it's the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. So, Kay Boning, by the way, 7 and 8 schools coming soon. No, I'm just kidding. So,
Rick would have a heart attack.
I think earlier, I love what you said about, so many times we do get stuck in the what ifs, Kay.
Yeah.
But I want to encourage folks this morning, even myself, to change that thinking to say, what can? Instead of what if, what can? What can happen in my life if I do this? What can happen tomorrow if I start focusing on this today? I'm a dreamer and a believer that when we start thinking about things and where we want our lives to be, God gives us certain talents and abilities for a reason. And if we truly start having faith, and I talked about having true peace is when you remain in faith. There's nothing wrong with waking up and saying, you know what, God, I'm believing that this is going to happen tomorrow. And if it doesn't, you remain in faith, and God eventually will honor those things. And what isn't honored here is ultimately honored up in heaven.
This is true. And there are some little things. I mean, everybody wants to, I'm going to have $1 million tomorrow. Just give me $1 million. It's like
it's a little bit more unrealistic.
But there's a book called Atomic Habits, and there's a book called Make Your Bed. And there's things that you can start doing today, a habit you can change. You can devote 5 minutes to this or 5 minutes to that. And there's little habits you can start changing. And if you incrementally change, you might have that $1 million in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But if you continue doing, the same thing you're doing now, you're not going to achieve that. So sometimes you have to make incremental, and you can't just jump off and say, I'm going to change all of this, which sometimes I tend to do.
But hey, that's the dream, right?
But, if you can make a 5% change, each day, then where are you at later on, a few weeks later, if you just make one little change?
Mm-hmm. I think about as children how we're always taught to dream big and have a big vision, but then as we get adults, it's almost like we have this mindset of now reality set in and those big dreams are gone. And friends, the reality is it's what you think of it. And I understand there's situations and circumstances that come your way that you feel like you have no control over, but what you do have control over is how you think about that situation and circumstance. And so, you know what, it doesn't matter if you're 15 or 5 or 15 or 55 or even 75 for that matter. Don't let age be a block for you dreaming big. And if there's ideas and a vision that you have, pray about it, have faith in it. And I'm always a big believer that the best is yet to come. I believe that the good old days are right now in this exact moment, and that the best is always on the horizon. And if you have that attitude every single day, you're going to continue to, like you said, incrementally find ways to get to certain areas of your life that you've always dreamed of. And I'm a big dreamer. But I also believe this, too, that you have to find joy where you're at during the process. And you have to realize, and I learned this from Coach Dave Richmond, the head men's basketball coach at North Dakota State University, that there is pain in the process. And if something's coming easy, you may want to step back and reevaluate and be like, why is this coming so easy? Because there is pain in the process, and God will guide you through that every step of the way. And I'll say it like this, too. I don't have a problem with, and someone once was like, well, that's prosperity preaching. I was like, no, it's not. I said, I want to be prosperous in my faith. And, of course, I want God to bring blessings to my family and I. That's in the Scripture. We can ask for blessings in our lives, but what I'm getting at is when you are blessed, don't elevate the gifts above the giver. And that's a phrase that I really feel like has always been ingrained in my heart, is as things come your way, don't elevate those things above the Creator who gave them to you. And it's so important. So don't feel bad about it. I don't think we should wake up with the mindset every single morning of, man, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills today. I'm following Jesus, so everything has to be terrible. Adversity is going to come your way, but God also doesn't want you to suffer through life. And so just remain in faith and know that when you remain in faith and trust in Him in every single situation, that in Scripture, all things work together for His glory. So that's what it's about, Kay. Little inspiration this morning to get you flowing and going. That's what we do here on Good Morning
Our little
Huntsville.
sermonette.
A little sermonette, yeah. I was thinking of kitchenette now when you said that. I was like, man, it'd be nice to go to Bridget and I get away for a few days, go to a little hotel with a kitchenette, I don't know
That
why
means I
thought.
have to cook, or
Yeah.
Rick has to cook.
Don't you see those little cute stoves, with one burner on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all don't like those.
Okay. Rick and I's first date, I told him if he's looking for somebody to cook and clean, keep looking, because I ain't her. So
It's not going to happen.
don't if you put me in one of those hotel rooms with a kitchenette, ain't getting touched by me.
Well, that'll just be used as extra heat in the room when it's cold outside. So. Well, friends, that'll wrap it up here. Again, if you're in need this morning, maybe you got a child, and you're saying, hey, I want my child to learn the best. I want my child to understand that there's a pathway to education that I haven't really realized before. What's a Montessori? And Kay Boning at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools can help you through that journey. You can reach out to them online at tpms.life. That's Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, tpms.life. It'll redirect you to the website, and you can get connected with Kay and her staff there. They will walk you through what you need to do, and they are truly the experts in education here, especially with young people as they're growing up. So important. Remember to register your children with the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. You can find out more information on the website at TPMS Life as well.
We're closing in on 980.
Closing in on 980. We're going to have that special 1,000 celebration. We'll have a celebration here on the show. And when we talk about that, that means 980 children, 980 every single month, getting a book at no charge. And it's thanks to Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. She covers the cost of the books, and Kay Boning and Tomorrow's Promise, a 501c3 nonprofit, covers the cost of shipping. And that's how this remains free to the community. So sign up if you're a parent or guardian, legal guardian. You can get those books for your children, 0 to 5, at no charge. That'll wrap it up, Kay. Thank you for being here. Good.
As always.
It's been a good morning here, Kyle. Good morning on Good Morning Huntsville. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Color Bar joining us, and we'll have more as we continue to celebrate all things good happening in Huntsville. I do want to remind you, please continue to support the McKenzie family. You can head over to the First Baptist Church website at fbchuntsville.org. There's a donate link right below that. It'll say Lisa McKenzie. You can give monetarily. If you don't want to do that, you can come by McKenzie's Barbecue on Sunday, December the 10th at 11:30 a.m., and they will be there to take care of you. Also invite you to celebrate our services with us, 9:30 Bible study, 10:45 a.m. You'll hear from Pastor Jason Bay every single Sunday. Till then, we love you, Huntsville. Good morning. God bless you. And as I end every broadcast, reminding you this morning, we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We truly need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. We love you, Huntsville. Good morning.
Have a great day.